Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name is Josh. Today we're talking about Tara Blanderson. It's been a long time since we updated you on tennis racket hands over here to see what's going on in her life. Apparently she's moving. YouTuber Headlines sent me the video because I didn't get a chance to download it, so shout out to YouTuber Headlines. But we're going to talk about what's going on in these YouTuber streets. But we're going to talk about what's happening in these mommy vlogger streets. They make shitty decisions, one of them being exploiting the kids for cash, but it always comes back to bite them on the ass, and that rhymes. So that's awesome. Let's go. So if you're new to the Tara Henderson drama, she's kind of boring. She really is just the most blandest person you have ever come across in your life. Like if a dry roasted peanut was a person, okay? If Melba toast was a personality, if talking about the weather was a person, if going to the toilet and forgetting your phone and having to do the back of shampoo bottles was a person, if hanging out in the library for fun was an individual, if the color beige was a person, if finding a penny and thinking you're lucky is a person. Let's continue. But basically, Tara Henderson is just, for all intents and purposes, she said she was going to take her kids off. She was a child exploiter. She had this big tearful video. She's like, I have to protect my kids. And then I think a week later, decided, no, I can't do that. I'm going to lose too many views. Then they decided to, live their life. I think she has some major beef with other creators. I think she got her boobs done too. Everybody's getting their boobs did. Is it a thing? Is there a discount group rate or something? What's going on? Anyway, they're all doing the same shit. They're all literally look the same. You can't tell them apart. None of them. They look identical, do the exact same surgeries, lip fillers, eyelashes, eyebrows, facelifts, buccal fat remover, whatever you call that. They all do it. Okay? Their husbands all look the same. I don't even know their names. And they all exploit their children. But another thing they all do is live lavish lifestyles to show to you plebs out there, that they're better than you. And for so many people, that is coming crashing down right now. Tara Henderson, we're going to talk about today. You got Love Meg, who decided she's going to quit. She's going to run. She can take her ball and run home. I hate you. I guess they're renting now. Let this be a lesson. If you're going to come into a bunch of money on YouTube for something that's probably going to be a flash in the pan, if you don't have evergreen video style things, like there's a difference between doing evergreen videos and stuff that's kind of a flash in the pan. Family vlogging is a flash in the pan. You're not going to continue to be a family vlogger forever because first of all, your kids will grow up and then, the predators will leave because they don't want to see little kids anymore. Okay. People will get bored of your shit and your shit is repetitive beyond repetitive. Everything that they do is repetitive in every way. And look at Tara's house. It's like white and beige, and everything is white and beige. Birthday party, beige balloons, white bouncy castle. What's wrong with you, right? And so the reason why I'm kind of pivoting when I move away from here, Mark and I are doing the channel called Doodads, is we're trying to create evergreen content that's funny, engaging, fun to watch, and can be watched multiple years, year over year. And that's something I'm really, really excited for. We're going to be talking about that soon. And so even on this channel, this is not technically evergreen, but a commentator, like a person that does what I do, is evergreen because the topics can always shift and change, right? We'll change with the times and move on. But even to that degree, commentators don't last forever, right? And so that's what's happening in these family vloggers world. Jess Fam, Weiss Life. All of them, every single family vlogger, even the biggest ones, Ace Family, LeBrant, all of them have a fraction of the views they once had. Okay, like I'm talking a fraction. So Tara Henderson is one of the ones, and of course you've got the low end ones, the Beast and Henderson and all those people who weren't really huge, who are going to be the first to go, right? Because the ones with 12, 10 million followers, they'll last a little longer, but they're still all dying out. But what happens in their world is they end up buying expensive vehicles, going on expensive vacations, buying expensive ass houses, sometimes building $1 trillion houses, because that's their content. And it does get them a big boost of views, but in the end, when your shit falls apart and you have nothing to fall back on, like I know Tara has a clothing business that's garbage, it's not going to work. Because when your fans go, so do your sales for that little store you made. Right? Because you're literally using your platform to sell the shit from your store. When nobody watches anymore, they're also not going to buy your merch. And so that's kind of what's happening, in my opinion, in Tara's world, right? So let's take a look at what she said way back in the day. This is when I guess this is the first video they talked about it. So listen to this.
You want to tell them what you just did?
All right, so I do have some bad news, actually. So don't cry.
What?
The lot that we wanted is not for sale.
The lot we want. So this is a stupid, shitty way to start a video. If you're like, look what we did. The title is called We're Building Our Dream Home. And it starts off, okay, we didn't get what we wanted, dude. Don't cry, okay?
Yeah, it got...
Just now.
Yeah.
That girl
Well,
was walking out.
no. It was like 2 weeks ago.
So she lost her favorite plot of land and he didn't tell her for 2 weeks and then decided to tell her on a video.
So it's on hold, but the other one is what we're going to go with, I think. We're
What
going
do you
to
mean it's on hold?
These people, again, boring.
They put a deposit on it, so basically it's on hold for the...
Conditionally sold, dumbass. Oh, Tara, like she's looking off in the distance trying to do math, like I would. Like I suck at math, dude. But she's like, what do you mean a hold? Like there's somebody holding hands with the land? I mean, she could because her hands are huge.
That's okay.
No. What is she doing? What are you looking at, Tara?
The other one...
We had 2 lots that we were kind of going back and forth with.
Oh, hard times. Are you falling on hard times, kid? Choose between which giant lot you want to buy. Let me squeeze a tear out for you. Hold on. Q side music. Tara. When so many people are poor, but you can't pick which giant tract of land you want to get. I mean, I'm so sorry for your lost thoughts. Shut up, Finn. Shut your damn pie hole, giant hands. You ain't getting no thoughts and prayers from people. There are people who can't even afford Mr. Noodles. Okay? Shut your ass.
And that's why you always have a, secondary for reasons like this.
Okay, well, yeah, we need to drive
All right,
by
Chin.
again, but tell them what we
And
just did.
I talked to him, yeah.
She's like, okay, well, I guess, tell them what we did, though.
I put a deposit down on that lot, but it makes sense, like, using that one over the other one. And,
Why?
well, it's the way the trail comes in, like...
Oh, my God, these people. Who hangs out with these people? Do you imagine? Oh, man, Tara's having a party. Shit. Okay, everybody, we're taking Xanax or something. Who's bringing the mushrooms? There's no, like, somebody... It's like she needs to have, like, a 1.5 times speed button just that you can press. Like, she's the opposite of Jess Fam. You know, Jess Fam's like, oh, my God, we're totally moving. There's a pool and there's something. They're building a zoo in their house. Like, you know, at the Target, this guy's going to kill me in a fentanyl handshake and stuff. Like, whereas Tara's like, tell them what we did. We bought some land and stuff. I could literally palm 2 basketballs with one hand. Beige is in right now. The land that we wanted was not available. And I'm so sad. So they're completely polar opposites. And I hate them for the same reason. They both suck ass. See, if I was going to tell you, look, Jess Fan, when she's like, look at this house we bought. I'm going to have the thing up here and she's going to show down here, angles all over. She's like, we just bought a home. You're going to cry. This guy knows that she's being emotional right now. And it's the most, even the dog's like, what's happening? I can't tell emotions. This dog doesn't know how to read human emotions because there are no human emotions in this house.
I was feeding Grayson a bottle in the back seat just before he came out, and I was like, just taking it all in. Like, this is a huge moment. This is like our forever home.
Big deal.
Hear that? I'm obviously going to copy and paste that part right there. This is our forever home. Is it? Is it?
It is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
I was not expecting to do this today, but...
What were you expecting to do? You guys don't do anything. This is exactly what you were expecting to do.
I'm glad we did, because I feel like that lot, our second choice, would have been snatched up too. Like, I told you, this is happening quickly. Like,
Well, that was like, he said 3 weeks.
This is so weird that they're having this life-changing conversation. She's staring at the viewfinder of a camera and they're talking to each other. Like, I just felt like this was going to be like the thing that we did, right? You know, the creepiest thing about family vlogging is this, where they have conversations with each other, but with the camera, not to each other. It's put the lotion on the skin type of thing, right?
Ago, I think. So
oh, really?
it is what it is.
Why doesn't it say sold then?
I don't know. Well, it's because the other builder bought
Because it's conditional, you dumbass.
it. Just from the other builder.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go with it.
Wow, so exciting.
We're going a little crazy. This is like day 3
Oh, listen,
of being in our home all day with no
this is COVID.
school.
while everybody's panicking,
We're
we will
buying our
celebrate.
dream home.
There you go. That's the thing that's going to piss a lot of people off right there. We're during COVID where everybody's panicking about not being able to work. I don't know how we're going to do this. And we're buying our dream home. You assholes. So basically, that's what I wanted to show you there. So they went and bought their dream home. And I remember Sloan did a video on Tara way back in the day before he like exploded into like atmospheric levels of success. Congratulations, Sloan. But I remember him doing a video on them and the PPP loan thing when it was hotting up and getting fiery. Everybody was taking PPP loans. They took PPP loans. And I had a conversation with this chin here, okay? And I asked him, what did you use the PPP loan for? And he actually basically was like, look, we did it. We needed it for this, this, and this. And he said, like, this translation services for their video and all this stuff. And then I did some research and I found out you're not allowed to use a PPP loan for that. It's meant to pay for paycheck protection loan for those who work for you. It was meant to be a loan for those people to keep people employed during the pandemic. These people did not have employees. So what Sloan uncovered was that they got I think it was a $14,000 PPP loan, and magically they bought a $14,000 gas stove, which is a nice stove, I'll give you that, but she can't cook anyway. Why do people buy expensive stoves and shit, don't even know how to cook? What a waste. It's like those guys who go golfing and they buy the most expensive golf equipment and shoes and have all the trinkets and shit like that, and they can't even golf. That's what it's like, okay? You can be scared of a golfer who rolls up with Canadian Tire golf clubs. That's what you got to be scared of, okay? Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. But basically, they took a PPP loan during that time. And at the same time, they didn't need to because they were buying, I think this is probably a $1.8 million house that they were building, right? And they just missed the market that was explosive in the past year. And I think they're probably kicking themselves in the ass for it. Because if they were to list this house 1 year ago, instead of what they're listing for now, which is $2.2 million. I have the listing here. And we're not going to show you the listing because I'm not going to tell you where they live. But basically, she listed it on wherever she listed it. It's $2.2 million. Now, if this was 1 year ago, that'd be more like 2.6, 2.7 million. So they lost a huge chunk of money by waiting. Now, in my opinion, I think they're moving because they lived way beyond their means for so long because she thought YouTube was going to continue. She thought the business was going to continue as it was. She sells t-shirts, man. Okay, and they're shitty. She's trying to do like what all the other ones do. Aaron Williams and all, they all try to do what each other does, and they're all failing. All of them. I don't know. That's what I think. And I think they're all failing. So basically what's happening is her view counts, and let's take a look at that for a second. 799,000 subscribers. So she released a video 6 days ago, which got 65,000 views. Now, that's not that bad, right? 65,000 views is a lot for a lot of people, but they release a video, it looks like every 3 or 4 days. So they're not making a ton of money. I know what I make on YouTube, so I usually I deduce by knowing what I make compared to what they make, right? So they've got 799,000 subscribers. They have not claimed a subscriber in 30 days or more. So she's not growing. She's completely stagnant. Although these are the months in YouTube anyway, where YouTube growth is almost non-existent. I don't know what happens during April, May, but like for some reason, no growth for almost all YouTubers. It's like the slowest growth months. So that could be, we could chalk it up to that, but she hasn't grown in a very long time, not even by 1,000 subscribers. Okay. But I think you see when you get up to this level, I think it gets up to 100. I think it shows 10,000 subscriber increments. Anyway, all that to say, she pulled in 796,000 views in the past 30 days. That's decent cash. She's probably pulling in 10 to 15,000 US per month, which is way more than a lot of people make. Let's be real. Now, she could be making money on sponsorship ads, which she probably does. So I'm going to guess roughly, and I could be off, I could be way off, but she makes about $220,000 to $250,000 a year, which is a ton of money, right? But not for the lifestyle that she has built up. It's not going to pay for the shit that they want to do. They can't, because they've lived well beyond their means for so long, right? She's traveled a lot. Like, I'm not saying that they're out there, binge drinking and partying, but they spend lavishly on vacations and travel, on business opportunity. They probably owe tons of rent on the big giant garage thing that they rent that has their t-shirt printer, their direct to garment printer that they have. That thing's probably 15 grand, right? They have to pay for overhead costs and shipping and everything else. So a lot of the money that they bring in goes right out into their business. They're not making a ton of money is what I'm saying. Comparatively. Now, $250,000 is a lot of money to a lot of people, but it does not allow you to live in a $2.2 million home. Okay, I'm telling you. The mortgage on a $2.2 million home is likely around $7,000, $8,000 a month. So depending on what they put down on their home, and it might have been a big chunk. Something tells me it probably wasn't because, again, they don't have a ton of... most YouTubers and influencers who come from nothing, they're not good with money. They spend it like water, and they all have. She went on a damn vacation to a hotel when Aaron Williams did that Christmas song thing. That probably cost thousands of dollars for them to make a music video and didn't make anything off that. Okay, so they spend like crazy and do not bring it in. So now you're seeing what she's sort of making. She's making some views. Making less than 1 million views a month, though, is nothing for somebody who has 800,000 subscribers. I have 176,000 subscribers, and I pull in about 2.5 million views a month. Now, that's pretty good for someone with my size. My ratio is pretty high. I'm also a newer YouTuber, and her fans have all kind of left the nest. That's basically what's happened. And that's why I'd say to people like who do this, stop putting all your eggs in this basket. Right? If you make a whole shit ton of money on YouTube and you come into money, invest that shit into something. Buy a business, do something. It's exactly what I'm doing. All the money that I have coming in here, it's going out into something that's going to make me money. Right? I'm not stupid. I'm teaming up with Mark. We're doing some cool shit. I've been working my entire life. I have worked so many jobs in my life. I have so many skills. I have a lot of skills because I've worked a lot of great jobs in my life that I can go get a job. Okay? I have a backup plan to always do. My wife now works as a nurse too. So she's a sugar mama. So we're doing well. But I also know that YouTube is not something you put all your eggs in a basket. I'm going to take every penny I make from this point forward and invest it into something cool. I'm going to talk about it soon. I'm really excited. Mark and I are going to do some cool shit. Anyway, all that to say, they didn't. And so this is what happened. But I asked YouTuber Headlines because I saw that she had it, and YouTuber Headlines sent me the video because I didn't have it, so shout out to her. And go ahead and subscribe to YouTuber Headlines because she gave me the videos, and it's great. So let's see what Tara Henderson had to say about this whole thing, and then I have the other one that she did the other day.
We don't hate our home. We're not leaving because we hate it here, but we're just trying to be smart. We have a lot of equity in our home, and I'm so grateful that we went about the way that we did when we purchased this home and put a lot of money into it. So
is she wearing a shirt with Psalms 16:8 on it? Really? Stop exploiting your kids and then saying you're Christian, people. I mean, you might be. Maybe in your heart you think you are, and if you are in your heart, you are. Okay, cool. But stop showing the world that shit because people think what you're doing is okay, and then you represent Christ. Even if you're not trying to, you do. So stop. Cool? All right. But basically what she's saying here is we put a lot of equity in. So it sounds like they put a big chunk down because they had it, which is smart. Don't get me wrong, that's smart. But did she not say it was her forever home? So what has changed? Why is it not forever anymore? Interesting.
Now we're in the position where we can make these decisions.
Is Texas your forever home? I'm not sure. I hope so. I've always been open to Arizona. Would love to go back to California, but it's not in the state. No, don't go to California. A huge goal would be to have a second home there. So she's still talking about having second homes and she just can't even afford this one. Tips used to stay positive and motivated. Allowing myself to have mental health days so I don't get burnt out. But I also hate not being productive. How many influencers, especially mommy vloggers, have you heard say this? I need my mental health days. You don't do anything. Okay, let's be real. Your job, yes, it is a job because it pays you money. It's not real. It's you literally clean your house, film it, or take your kids somewhere, film it, or have a birthday party, film it. You're filming the things you're going to do anyway and making money on it. That is not hard work. What do you need a mental health day from? What? I hate when they say this. It makes me irrationally angry because the rest of the world who has to work their asses off to make ends meet, when these people don't do shit and they still have the audacity to say something stupid. And those blinds in the back, they're fucking remote controls. Remember Mark and I snarked on this house because Mark's a custom home builder and how ugly all her finishings were? I hope she realizes that the fact that she made this shit so not connectable, I don't know how you say that, like cohesive. People are going to be like, I don't like this, or they're going to say, look, I'm going to give you 1.8 million because I'm going to have to take $400,000 and change all the shit that you made ugly. That's what's going to happen. In my opinion. Do you think your house is the forever home? No, we actually plan on selling our house soon. Well, that's odd that you said this thing.
This is like our forever home.
It's a big deal.
We have a lot of equity in it and we want to sell and buy something around the same size, maybe just a smaller backyard, so we don't have a mortgage anymore. Trying to make smart financial decisions to set our family up for success. It wasn't an easy decision, but we know it is the right one. Now, she did say this is a forever home. Why would you? So they're saying they're going to go buy a house of similar size. So we're going to take a look at the size. And we're going to go to Zillow and I'm going to show you in there's an area what they could buy. So it sounds like they have like $1 million worth of equity possibly in this house. That's what I'm thinking. Because if she's going to go buy a house cash with zero mortgage, she's going to need to have a big ass bank account right now. But it's going to be contingent on selling this house too, because she's equity in the home. She doesn't have cash in her bank account right now. So she has to sell for 2.2 million. And if she's got $1 million into it, she gets that back in her pocket. So let's take a look afterwards. Also, don't let it get past you that she's super embarrassed about this, right? This was her forever home, and she's trying to mitigate the disaster that has happened, the money that they've lost, the bad decisions they've made by saying like, oh, it is a decision. Yeah. You just moved into this place. And then the next one's like, what'd you do in Cabo? How about you don't go to Cabo anymore? You're broke. You don't have any money. You're seeing, maybe they're not broke right now, right? But they are seeing the horizon coming down. They're seeing their paychecks coming down month to month. Apparently, he's going back to school for engineering, so they're going to pay for his degree, and you can make a lot of money engineering. Here's the thing I want to do. I do want to give her a little bit of props for seeing the writing on the wall and making the changes she needs to make to go forth and prosper for her family. You got to give her that. But at the same time, a lot of lessons can be taken from this to stop being assholes on the internet, because this is what happens. She's not a huge drama queen either. She doesn't cause a lot of stir. She has done some stupid shit, obviously. She has a major past, which is like whatever, okay? And she's relatively boring for the most part, but she exploited her kids. She made a promise to her kids on the internet that she wouldn't do it, and then she continued to do it. And now doubled down on, I think she's exploiting her child's autism, which is like, don't do that shit, okay? And this is called karma, everybody. This is what happens. She thought she could pivot like everybody else thinks it can pivot. Sakona Jolie, Jess Pham, fathering autism, pivoting all to this like, oh, autism, all these buzzwords and shit that are going on in the world right now, or gender identity issues or whatever. They're not, it's not going to work, everybody, because people see right through your bullshit, because we've seen who you are since day one. And that's why it's not going to work. So her pivoting to that just made her lose more people is what happened. Do you have a nanny? Here's another stupid decision she makes. Yes, she's the best. I'm so grateful for her and for loving our kids like her own. We couldn't do life without her. Why do you have a fucking nanny? And I reached out to Tara and asked her, and she laughed at me. She's like, you don't want my answer. I'm like, what do you need a nanny for, Tara? You don't go to the office. You don't do anything. Your literal life is being a mother on camera, and you don't even do that when the camera's off. So she's admitting right now that she probably spends, I don't know if they're there anymore, but she probably spends $40,000 to $50,000 a year for this nanny or more, depending on how much work this nanny does, right? Could be a part-time nanny, so it could be less. She can't even parent her kids, which is her whole effing platform. She shows you what it's like to be his mom, stay-at-home mom, blah, blah, blah. But how many moms, I'm gonna petition something. Can we all agree on this? Maybe take a poll. If you have a nanny, you're not allowed to be called a stay-at-home mom, okay? You're an employer of someone who raises your children. Can we just put that together? I know a lot of people have nannies like, no, that's not it. That's absolutely it. She just admitted for loving our kids like her own. We couldn't do life without her. That is a person that is raising these children, because Tara Henderson, for whatever reason, can't. Even though she doesn't work a regular job, her husband is the one who does the t-shirts and shit. Tara doesn't do anything. So another shitty financial decision based on laziness and living this lavish lifestyle. And I did not know she had a nanny until right at this moment. Why don't they show you that part? That's the real and raw. They don't want to show you the part of the nanny because they want you to think that they do it all on their own, because it's part of the f***ing ruse. Okay, it's part of the grift. They are faking everything for the camera. Would you consider homeschool with this crazy world right now? Vanessa Palms to Prosper is always trying to convince me to do it. Move away to Oklahoma on a big plot of land together and raise animals and kids. We talk about this at least once a month. I don't think I'm cut out for homeschooling. Well, that's because you're dumb as a box of rocks. You're not the shiniest peanut in the turd. Let's be real. You're smart as a box of hair. What? That was so funny. She's like a sloth on sleeping pills. You're sharp as a marshmallow. Anyway, let's go. So basically, this, honestly though, I'm thinking of this phrase, and this whoever this girl is, Palms to Prosper, agreed. This is kind of where it's going. If you have money and you have other friends with money, maybe the best solution would be to buy 100 acres of land, build on the corners of that lot your home, so you're not like next to somebody, you can hear them having sex or fighting or whatever. Yeah, right? But build, go-kart tracks and freaking stuff between it, and like raise animals, live off grid, grow your own food with a bunch of people that you trust. That's like the prepping culture. I'm surprised more people don't do that. I wonder if that's because you're not allowed. I don't know. You could completely live off grid. If you do that, you have sustainable, as long as you have everybody in the group has something cool to offer. Like my wife's a first responder, Mark's a custom home builder. I got a buddy who's got a guy who's a firefighter. You got somebody who's understands weapons. You got farmers. You got people who know to plant food. You got me. I know how to do some stuff. I don't know what it is yet, but there's some stuff that I know. Okay, I can help. Like I can hold a flashlight or something. I'm just saying, I can make people laugh. How about that? That's something an apocalypse team needs, right? I don't know. Anyway, but that honestly is a good idea. Like, would you not watch a YouTube channel of a bunch of families getting together, buying a massive plot of land, and turning that into like a little community? Not a commune. Don't get me wrong. It's not a cultic thing. It's literally just a bunch of friends trying to like live their best life off grid, with less government intervention. Not Waco, guys. I'm not talking about Waco, although watch the documentary. It's really good. But you know what I'm saying? Would that not be cool? You do your own thing. You all work really hard. Man, I'd do that. But I don't know if it's really possible for humans to coincide peacefully together. I think I could try if the land was big enough, right? If I had to like drive to your house, it'd be like you live down the street anyway. I'd do that shit. Mark, let's do that. If you weren't so financially successful without traditional jobs, would you have less kids? This is a great question, something I've really never thought about. However, I didn't expect my business to grow to what it has today, and I've always known I wanted a big family since before I met Adam, so blah, blah, blah. She doesn't know shit. Your shit's falling apart, lady. Don't try to trick us. We know you're broke. It's okay. At least you're making plans to overcome it. And again, give her props for that, even though she's boring as shit. My business plan is to make beige flannel. What are must-haves for the new house? Current house is gorge. Is it gorge? Have you seen my video on it? Clearly you haven't seen it. We'll sell in no time. It's not a must-have, but we're really hoping to find one with a pool. If not, we're going to be putting a pool in turf most right away. Okay. Anyway, let's get to this shit. What else does she say?
Own a home and not have a mortgage. Adam isn't even 30 years old yet. So being able to...
Looks like he's at least 40.
...to own a home and be debt-free in your early 30s, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. So,
if it's such a no-brainer, then why did you wait so damn long to do this when your house would have been worth at least $500,000 to $600,000 more 1 year ago when the market was exploding? The market has gone down in some areas by 9 to 20%. It's dropped off. So something else has happened, or the interest rates went so high that their mortgage went from $4,000 or $5,000 to like $8,000 a month, and they're like, "Holy shit, we're bleeding cash." We're eating into everything. I can't go to Vegas anymore and do stupid shit. So what are we going to do about it? Again, when she says this
is like our forever home. It's a big deal.
That's what she meant. But obviously something else has happened and she's just trying to trick you all.
Just trying to be smart. And yeah, adulting is never fun. It's never easy. But we're just trying to make the right decisions for our...
Here's the wrong decision, though. Doing a video in a bathroom. And you know it. Okay? That shit's echoey. Do better. Beige person.
Family. And we know that this is the best decision. So I'm just trying to support Adam because he supported me throughout as you guys know, he's been more than supportive with me and my career. So I just want to give him that same support.
Let's translate this. My shit's falling apart. So Adam has to now do some shit. That's fine. Again, I might go back to school. I don't know. Kathy's did her thing. She's loving being a nurse. Maybe I was thinking about like, what can I go back? Because not just to make money, but I'm like, man, what can I do to better myself, further this? I got the college I went for psychology and art. And clearly I'm not a psychologist or an artist, right? Then I went for music and I was a musician for a long time. So I did get something out of that, but I don't have that anymore. What do I go back to school for? Do I go back for a trade? Do I go get my trucking license? I don't know. Do I learn how to drive, to operate, become an operator? I don't know. Lots to do. I love working too. I love working with my hands. I love being busy and I'm a hard worker. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it too. So, but the translation there is that our shit is falling apart. Nobody wants our sad beige clothes anymore because sad beige is out and that's all we have.
And we're just trying to make and find ways to be able to make that happen for him. So again, all good things. We're excited, but...
Does she sound excited to you? We're excited.
It's going to be a new chapter, and I'm excited to see what it has in store for us. But thank you again for all of your sweet messages. Lots of really great advice, so I really appreciate that. But another thing, we are doing a 50% off graphic.
We're selling our shit. Okay, we're not saying that. Anyway, now let's take a look at the old Dallas area. Now, I think this is where she lives, in this region here. Where's Dallas? But it'll be around, like, I think she's up in this region somewhere here. So here's what we're going to do. She wants the same size house, and her house looks like it's around 5,000 square feet, right? I'm going to put between $400,000 and $1 million. Just to, let's say she has $1 million in equity, which probably not, but let's just give her some of that, right? Let me just zoom this down so you guys can see what I'm doing here. We're going to do, it looks like she probably has 4+ bedrooms, 4+ bathrooms. Okay. Home type, it's a house, no condos, no lots, no apartments, none of that. Okay, apply. She says it has to have a pool. Let's not do $1 million. Let's do like, so let's say, okay, it doesn't seem like there's a lot there. Let's do 700,000. Okay, so she could live technically in some of these houses are just absolutely stunning anyway. So her house is $2.2 million in a place where you can buy literally the same damn size house for way less. So I don't think that their house is going to sell for $2.2 million. First of all, her finishings are shit. Second of all, finishings are shit. So let's be real. Look at this house. Damn, I'd live in some of these places. I love looking at real estate. So that's likely what's going to happen. She's going to move into a smaller, a tight-knit community area. She's going to buy a smaller house, and she's just going to get cash. He's going back to school for engineering, and they're mitigating what's going to, eventually be the demise on YouTube, because she feels like it's a lot of stress. Maybe she wants to be done with it anyway, and she should be, because she's shit at this. Terrible. So there's another person on the way out. Thank God that these people are finally getting their just desserts. Don't forget, she took a PPP loan for a damn stove. Okay, what happens in homes, and I wish I could get Mark on, but he's busy right now, is basically, maybe I can. Pick up, you dumbass. Pick up. You ass hat head. Anyway, he'll call back. So Marky's here, and basically the question is, Mark, remember that house we snarked on a little bit a while ago, Tara's house? That one that was like really nice, but the finishings were really weird. She's selling her house now for $2.2 million, okay? Because she wants to go buy a house. So I'm trying to tell people, when you put weird ass finishings in your house, that actually doesn't translate to being worth more, right? Because the taste that she has is bad, right? Explain that to me.
Well, like, pretty much, if you're going to go bold and do something like that, like, you've got to be able to somewhat hit the masses. Like, you have to do what's something a little bit trendy, but like you saw that one house I did in like Westboro.
Yep.
Like, I went super.
I was just talking about that.
One,
yeah.
Right. And like, I had all kinds of people after that one. So like, if you do it tastefully with like designers and all that, yes, you will probably do well with it. But if you're just like some person that looks through Pinterest and magazines and you think you've got talent, you probably don't. That's my.
That's because you've built like dozens and dozens of homes, and so and so that's why I explain to people that if you do weird finishings and all these things because you think it's trendy for your YouTube channel, it's not going to translate. So she's trying to sell this house for $2.2 million. It's going to take a long time to sell it, or she's going to have to take a big cut, because most people are going to be like, look, I don't like any of the things you did in there. And a person who's going to be able to afford a $2.2 million home is going to be like, F that bananas, I want something that I want, and they're going to say, I'll give you 180,000 or 1.8 million, and I'm going to put 400,000 of my own finishings into it.
Yeah, it's very possible. But if somebody else just like her, as a personality like her, walks in and the house would reek of that lady too, or whoever it is, then you never know. Like, because she could hit a grand slam with it too. So, anyways, I'm not trying to support her or anything. I'm just saying.
No, it makes sense.
If she does things well, when you do things well, things happen, right? When you do things, that's what happens.
Exactly. When you do things odd and weird, but you like it, like that one home you did, that's gorgeous, Ellie, but that would be a very hard home to sell, right? Because it's so, well, no, actually, I'd buy that house in a heartbeat. What's one of the weirdest things you ever built in a house that people are like, oh my God, this is not going to stay if the next person buys it?
Well, I put a tangerine orange kitchen in a house when I did for the owner of that one restaurant chain.
Oh yeah.
And it was super different while we were doing it, but when it was done, it was insane. Yeah. So like, I guess it's, I think it's more for her. It's a matter of the kitschiness of everything that nothing was cohesive. Like the taps didn't match. None of it is all gold. And then one was silver, then one was black. Nothing was cohesive, but I get it. Yeah. She didn't have She didn't have vision. She was going room by room. You need to hit the whole thing to kind of tie everything in.
And that's what Marky's for. Dude, I love you, man. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, see you.
Bye. And that's why we have Mark on our team for the apocalypse and stuff, because he'd be able to build shit. Also, he's super hot, so that helps. Anyway, so that's what I think. Cohesive is going to be the big thing, right? They're going to be like, well, her house is not cohesive. The only thing that's cohesive about her house is all white, but then everything's completely different and jumbled and all that stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll find out. We'll follow this and see what's going on. Jess Fam is moving as well. You got so many people deciding to either down. I don't know if Jess Fam's going to. I don't think she's downsizing. I think she's looking for a bigger piece of land with more bedrooms because her kids, all 3 of her boys who are entering teenagerhood pretty soon, all sleep in the same room, which is ridiculous. And Jess Fam is a literal millionaire. She has made millions on YouTube, okay? Tons of money. And she's looking probably for a piece of land, and she's selling this house that they just moved into. I think the kids are, we're going to cover that. We're going to do the whole video, so we'll do that. Anyway, so Tara Henderson, you don't need a nanny. You want to cut back on some expenses? Stop going to Vegas for stupid shit, okay? Don't take handpicks because no one will buy them shits anyway. And Chin over here, he's doing all the hard work, so good for them. But we do have to give her props one more time for mitigating, for seeing what's the writing on the wall and changing it so that, she's not going to go broke. Because if he becomes an engineer, that's good money. There's a 4-year degree that he's got to go through. So we'll see. Because look at our life. Daniel, he was an engineer. Now he works at like macaroni and cheese factories or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, we'll cover that too soon. Everybody, take a deep breath. Anderson, get out of here with that shit. Also, if you're gonna be broke at you, why are you getting boob jobs and stuff and lipo and freaking facial injections and stuff? Save your cash. That shit's fleeting. It's not gonna last. And you're like under 30, I think. Relax. These idiots. But you're not. You're amazing and gorgeous and valuable. Don't you damn well forget it. I think that you're just right, and you know it. You know it deep down in there. I'll see you tomorrow.